Hey guys, I'm Ryan, this is Future Riffs, and today we're going to be talking about a particular type of chicken pickin'. That's probably the lamest thing I've ever said, and I don't want to redo that take. I want that one to be in there. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about classic Southern riffs, and I'm going to break it down for you guys and teach you guys a few of them that you can immediately put into your playing when you're jamming with your friends. And the cool part is that I'll explain some of these textures and riffs, and your friends don't have to be playing like Southern rhythm parts for you to incorporate some chicken picking techniques into your soloing. They'll still cut through and have some of that true American Southern pride. Playing on a Telecaster today, lent to me by the beautiful Steven. Yeah, running through the HX Stomp, got a little bit of reverb and delay on my signal. Let's boogie. Let's make it happen. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to go over is we're going to talk about a chord structure that we're going to base all of our riffs around. I'll make it quick, okay? It is going to be a standard blues structure. It's probably not shocking to any of you guys that blues and chicken picking or Southern rock and roll are incredibly familiar. So I'm going to be playing a variance of an E major chord. But I'm going to be playing it in a pentatonic setting. So I'm playing E major, or maybe E dominant 7 or something, E7, something with a little bit of color. But I'm going to be jamming in my E minor pentatonic. They work flawlessly over top of each other, and it's going to be awesome. So my first chord, we'll go ahead and call it E7. My next chord is going to be an A7. Going to go back to an E7 after that. Going to walk up to a B7 after that. The 7s really give me that twang, that honky tonk that I'm looking for. Back to A7. Back to an E7. So the whole riff uninterrupted, or a whole chord riff. I'm going to teach you guys riffs on top of this. Don't think that this is the lesson for the day. This is just the structure underneath. I'm going to play it uninterrupted. Ready? Messed up that little I messed that up really bad. But I like it. It's okay. It's all good. We all make mistakes, right? So that's my chord structure. E to a short A, back to E, up to B7, down to A, and then end on an E7. Okay, cool. So that is my blues structure. It is very close to any blues, like 8-bar blues pattern, except my rhythm is more of this shuffle. I'm shuffling. So instead of taking those chords and going, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, and doing the blues thing, I'm doing more of a country shuffle. So let's get into the riffs. Let's talk about these things. The first one that I want you guys to show, that I want to show you guys, is over the E chord. So we're gonna play our E chord. I'm gonna do a big bend at 3rd fret on the E string. Actually, I say a big bend. I actually mean just squeeze it out of tune. It's like that little bit of lip snarl that you want. Start there to establish the fact that you're playing over an E chord. Okay? And then our next step is going to be a hybrid picking technique. I'm going to play this. here's the deal. I don't doubt your picking ability. I think you could probably pick this without learning this hybrid technique. But you're not going to get a whole lot further into chicken picking unless you start adapting and using your middle finger to play notes that are further away string-wise than you're used to. Because a lot of these chicken picking riffs are based around having these big intervals in between their notes. So I play my E, and I get this real happy sounding chicken picking riff. Real staccato, and with a lot of very fun movement, slides, and hammer-ons all included. Let me walk you through it. So I'm using my middle finger and my ring finger. I slide from 2nd fret on the G up to 4. So that's my first move. My ring finger is going to play the parallel fret, so 4th fret still, but on the E string. So I'm going to go. So I get a harmony. Very, very pretty major harmony. Now my next one, I can choose to slide if I want. Or I can just play it straight. And it's the exact same technique. It's 2nd fret, 2 strings apart. So I've got my middle finger on the G at 2nd fret, and then my ring finger on the E string at 2nd fret. And that gives me my second one. So those together, I have. And then I cap it. I make it sound like an E major chord. And it is very, to me at least, I think it's very important to have that minor 3rd note. That's that open string, that open G. That's not in an E major chord anywhere because it's a G sharp in an E major chord. It gives it that real southern tone, that almost mistake. So you have. So whole thing. Depending how you want to fit your phrase. Now the other part is that I'm doing a lot of muting. I don't want this riff to be all wide open. I kind of want there to be these short pockets of sound, the real on purpose sounding. It adds to the kind of the flavor of that rhythm. That is that piece of fried chicken that you were really looking for. Dang it, I'm gonna make myself hungry, and I've got a lot to talk about today before I can eat anything. All right, hold on. Let's not talk about chicken. So that's our first one. The next riff is going to be over the A. So you have your rhythm player going, and you're over here going. Then he's going to switch to an A. And I want you guys to be able to mirror that same riff. Now, this riff is completely movable just like any riff is. So now I'm going to play this up in an A position here. I'm going to go and do the exact same riff. So the one in E. So now you have this riff in 2 spots, which makes you seem more seasoned. Phrasing is always important to me, and sometimes repeating a riff idea but following the chord structure makes you seem more mature in your playing. Or at least this is my opinion. Rip me apart in the comments if I'm wrong. So we play over A. Go back to E. Then we're going to go to B7 after that. Now, I could show you guys that same riff in B7, but I honestly think knowing those first 2, you could find that B7 one on your own, and I'd like to show you guys some other fun Southern techniques real quick. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, even though we're playing over an E major, we're playing with our E minor pentatonics. This is a blues rule. They work together. They have technical sour notes that aren't supposed to collide, but they sound awesome. Sometimes it just is that way, you know? So, I would like to show you guys a ricochet tap using your E minor pentatonic that I use a lot when I'm trying to sound Southern. Oh, let me say this as well. I am by no means a country electric guitarist or a southern chicken picker. These are techniques that I've implemented into my playing style that I like from this realm, and I honestly think that they're close to the novice level, but I think that they're tasteful sounding. So I think that you guys will really enjoy them. But if you're looking to really, really chicken pick, maybe we need to all get into it together. I'd be very down to study the style and learn more about it. Okay, so far, let's recap real quick. We went over... Oh, and I mentioned hybrid picking, and I totally dropped the ball on that. I'm using my middle finger to play all the notes on the E string. All of them. So I'm going... The reason I'm doing that is because it gives me more right hand control over what strings to mute, and it also gives me my finger, my flesh texture and tone on that E string. And I use my middle finger a lot for notes. I think it's important to develop a hybrid picking pattern. If you want a great song to learn hybrid picking too, or plantation picking, or whatever you call it, learn Stairway to Heaven, of course. I'll play this much of it. That's it. That's all you get. Okay, so our next one here, ricochet tapping. This does not involve a hybrid picking method. This is all pick for me. Ricochet tapping, or ricochet picking, is combining hammer-ons and an offset picking pattern. So I can play a note like this on my E string. I'll turn my volume up a little bit for you guys. Like that, but I should be able to get a lot more notes than that, right? So I'm gonna go pick, pull off, pick, hammer on, pull off, pick, hammer on, pull off, pick. So I can go... I can get this almost trill sound, but there's a lot of pick going on. Now, what's fun is to run your pentatonic scale while doing that. So I love that. Let me run you through that slowly. I pick, hammer on, pull off, pick. And as I scoot through the strings, I always pick the new string first. I always use my pick to get it rolling. And then after that, it's a mixture of hammer-ons, pull-offs, and picking that give you all of that awesome texture. Then the big trick is switching back and forth in between the strings rapidly. So being able to go... I love that. Now, and then at the end I do that same bend. I love that. I think that's really cool. Now, I incorporate a little bit of muting. That's all done with my right hand. That gives you that kind of muffled, really precise, attacky sound. I love that. I think that that's just such a fun one. Okay? Then, you can tastefully put this into your riffs. I wouldn't hang on to it for forever, or someone's going to be driven insane. You'll be that shredder kid that really, really can play, but that people don't want to hear their solos. Remember, always use things tastefully and remember your phrasing. It's very important. So, we've got our hybrid picking pattern. We've got our A, which is the same. And then we have our ricochet picking. And I think the other very, very important chicken picking riff that I'm going to show you guys today would be a chord with a bend. So we're going to take our pentatonic scale, not our first position one, but our first position in our second octave. Okay, so that is going to be 12th fret, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15. My guitar player, I mess up all the time in front of you guys. I appreciate you guys for being pretty nice in the comments. Here, let me play that again. Promise I know my pentatonics, I promise. So, up here, we've got these awesome options for bends. On the G in particular, I'm going to take my ring finger at 14, and I'm going to bend it up a whole step. So I'm hitting this note, a B. So I go from A up to B. But that's not cool enough. It's kind of cool, but it's not quite there. I'm going to bar with my pinky at 15 across E and B. And then I'm going to take my leftover fingers, grab that note at 14 on G, and I'm going to bend that one note while keeping my pinky fingers in place. Now that is something that you can open a chicken pickin' jam with. So now you can start rolling these things into your current playing. Add it to your arsenal. Don't let it replace. Just add new things all the time. So a lot of bends in here, some right hand techniques, some just syncopation in general. Chicken picking is fun. It's fast, and it is easy to play over blues chords. So yeah, that is the skinny of it for today. That is what you guys should be focusing on. Those 3 different style riffs. Let me run through them one more time. Hybrid picking. Ricochet picking, which I keep wanting to say tapping. I apologize. Ricochet picking. And then your chord bending. That's it, guys. I mentioned chicken earlier, and I don't think I can get my mind off of it. I think we're going to have to take a filming break and maybe go find some chicken. Would you guys want to come find chicken with us? Maybe I can work and eat chicken at the same time. We are going to be chicken hunting now. See if we can get a couple of them. I mean, the line's long, but who knows? I don't know. I hope we can.
Do you think this sandwich will beat the Chick-fil-A sandwich?
That's gonna be tough. I don't know. I'm a Chick-fil-A guy, so we'll see. That's gonna be hard.
All right, let's hit it.
All right. Alright, so we actually got our chicken sandwiches in like under 5 minutes, no jokes. We were at the Brandon, Florida Popeyes, near the first place I ever taught guitar, Store for Strings. Shout out to the weirdest store and employee experience ever. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. So over here, we got ourselves like a couple of boys.
Dude, they're amazing.
Right. Are you kidding me? You guys can probably smell my breath through videos in the Future Riffs channel, just in general. I'm a pickle man. The pickles outshine any other chicken sandwich I've ever had immediately. If you like Popeye's chicken, the chicken's on par with all their other chicken in a good way. I don't mean that as a down tick. But the bun, Steven, the bun.
Oh yeah.
We could have maybe ordered 4. I mean, although, I'll be honest, I think that if this is a spicy, it's not spicy. So I might be eating a classic right now because I don't have any heat at all.
I don't think they're that spicy.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what it is. Then it's not super spicy. So if you guys were debating on whether or not having a spicy one would ruin your day, I don't think it would. So, but man, this is something. Definitely gonna feel some more greasy finger guitar playing for sure. Actually, they had me in mind. So a little wax paper for the fun of it. Why not?
All right, Ryan, what's the final verdict? Classy. Very nice. So this versus Chick-fil-A. Is it safe to say you love that chicken from Popeyes?
Oh, that chicken from Popeye.
You know, out of their 2 slogans, I think I like Louisiana Fast is my favorite.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was theirs.
That's my favorite. They have the best commercials and the best chicken, but they've always had the best chicken.
This wins because of the pickles. I mean, honestly, the pickles are what put it over the top. It's a very good competitor to the Chick-fil-A sandwich. And the spicy mayo on the spicy one is awesome. What's it called? Cajun mayo?
I don't know. That's what I'm calling it, but
that's what puts it over the top. Because at the core, it's still the chicken sandwich. Good bun, good fried piece of chicken in the middle, but they upped the ante with not garbage pickles and that good sauce. So I gotta chew this. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Make sure to like and subscribe. Questions, comments, complaints, concerns about my chicken addiction. So always welcome in our comments. Throw Steven a big old shout out like always. Do your thing.